We're persecuted. If you're saved, we're persecuted. We're persecuted as well by the flesh, our own flesh. The me really doesn't want to die. It really doesn't. Marcus made a really good point in one of his videos that I've not got the lights on. That this judge, compare, and condemn. It kind of runs the show, the me show, the flesh self show. Oh, sorry. Oh dear, oh dear. No, that was worth it. It runs the show in the sense that, the Trinity blasphemy got created out of that. The man God hypostatic union blasphemy heresy. Marcus made a really good point that this, we make comparisons, like the Pharisee that was praying, and then the other man that was praying, the publican. That I'm not as bad as him or her, and it's about our heart, isn't it? Because we can say things, however, God knows what we really think in our heart, and it's so subtle, it's so pernicious and asinine. It's a good word. That I thank God I'm not as the publican. I thank God I'm not as Hitler or whoever, Jeffrey Dahmer. And that attachment to the flesh and that self-justification, self-excuse in judging, comparing and condemning keeps us in the flesh. It keeps us from dying to self and being born again by grace through faith. And to get to the point that Marcus made, was that we might compare ourselves to somebody else. However, we haven't had we haven't lived their life. What's it? The lived experience. We haven't had the kind of upbringing, perhaps. And if you think about some people and what their childhoods were like and what their lives are like, it's not to excuse. We don't look to excuse. However, it may be useful to just think, would you really have done any different if you were in the same situation? My assertion is that no, you'd have done exactly the same thing. Well, okay, perhaps not necessarily exactly the same thing. However, the point he's making is that it's so easy to sit in a relatively comfortable place, society, country, whatever, and have that judge, compare, condemn thing going on, perhaps even unconsciously, but it's a thought in the heart. There is no good thing in the flesh. And as Paul said, I'm a chief sinner. You break one part of the law, you're guilty of all of the law. And as we're all of Adam, there is no real division. That individuality is an illusion. It's an indivisible brotherhood in the flesh, and each of us, excuse me, each of us is a chief sinner, and worthy of, being put to death. Anyway, this was all on from speaking to somebody in Blackpool today, and the ferocious attachment to the flesh And this whole idea of progressive sanctification and one day getting a glorified physical flesh body of some sort, and essentially becoming your own God, that thinking your flesh is able to be the same as in your mind the flesh of Jesus, the God-man, and that somehow you're worthy in the flesh, rather than recognizing the need to die to the flesh, die to self, that there is no good thing, and that nothing you do in the flesh can please God, and that the law is simply a schoolmaster to teach us that we cannot earn and climb our way to heaven. Let's just have a verse. Where are we? Hebrews 7:26. For such a high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens. So this is Christ's priesthood. And then if you're saved, we are Levites, aren't we? You know, to minister as Levitical priesthood, as the Levitical priesthood. And then the verse that was spoken of today in Blackpool, that is such a powerful verse and kind of summed up the whole conversation. Colossians 3:3, King James Bible. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Christ in God. Yeah. And that's the body, the flesh body, having endured sound doctrine to the end. Okay, yeah. Me. It's a beast. God bless.